Welcome to Fables Adventures, where we bring you daily stories from our collection. We are happy to have you here. Today's story is called Sprocket Heartwise and the Mysterious Visitor. It is a thoughtful story about a gentle mechanical being learning that sometimes protecting others means saying no to people who move too fast, talk too loud, and claim to understand without actually listening. So, hit like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel today. For now, enjoy. Sprocket Heartwise and the Mysterious Visitor.
Our Sprocket, Heartwise and the Stranger, with the loud hands. The workshop hummed. Not the ordinary hum of machines, but the special kind. The kind that meant everything was exactly as it should be. Sprocket Heartwise stood among the memory bells, their copper body gleaming soft as honey in the morning light that streamed through the tall workshop windows. Click, click, click went their gears as they carefully wound a tiny spring inside a mechanical songbird's chest. "There you go, little friend," Sprocket whispered, setting the bird gently on the wooden workbench. "Now you can sing again." The songbird's wings trembled. It opened its beak, and out came a melody so pure and sweet that one of the memory bells on the wall chimed in answer. Ding dong, soft as a sleepy bell should sound. This was Sprocket's favorite part of the day. Around the workshop, other mechanical creatures stirred awake. A copper rabbit with velvet soft ears hopped in small circles. A brass butterfly with painted wings fluttered lazily near the window. In the corner, a wind-up tortoise took its steady, patient steps. Each one had come to the sanctuary, broken or frightened, and each one Sprocket had helped heal with patient, steady hands. The garden beyond the workshop windows was waking too. Real birds, cardinals red as apples, sparrows brown as earth, sang from the flower beds. Real butterflies danced over real blossoms. Sprocket could hear them all. The chirp that meant, "Good morning." The trill that meant, "I'm happy." The worried twitter that meant, "Something is wrong." Sprocket understood every word. This gift, this beautiful, strange gift of hearing what animals said, made Sprocket different. But it also made them careful. It made them patient, because understanding meant listening. And listening meant you could never hurt someone by accident. The workshop door burst open. A figure stepped inside, tall and angular, with hands that moved too quickly and a voice that boomed like thunder. "Hello! Hello! I am here to help," the stranger announced, their words sharp as broken glass. "I have heard you tend creatures here. I, too, understand animal speech. We should work together." Sprocket's gears clicked faster, the sound they made when surprised. The newcomer wore a coat of bright purple with buttons that caught the light. Their hair stood up like wild grass. Their smile was wide, but something about it made the memory bells on the wall ring a little softer, as if they were nervous. "Welcome," Sprocket said gently, their voice like oil sliding smooth. "What is your name?" "I'm Clang, a mechanical helper like yourself, and I have much experience with animals." As Clang spoke, something white and feathery drifted down from one of the high shelves. A single small feather, light as a wish. It floated past Sprocket's copper shoulder and settled on the floor between them. Sprocket looked at the feather, then at Clang, then back at the feather. "Would you like to meet our friends?" Sprocket asked carefully. "Yes, show me everything." Clang moved through the workshop like a windstorm. Their footsteps were heavy. Their hands grabbed things without asking first. When Clang reached for the mechanical songbird, the one Sprocket had just finished healing, Sprocket heard the songbird's chirp change. It became the sound of worry. The sound of too loud, too fast, please be careful. What a marvelous creature, Clang boomed, picking up the songbird and shaking it slightly to examine the gears. Look at these mechanisms. So simple, so easy to improve. Please, Sprocket said softly. That bird is still learning to trust again. Gentle is better. Clang set the bird down with a thump and laughed, a laugh that sounded like clanging metal. You worry too much, Sprocket. Animals are strong. They do not need all this softness. But Sprocket could hear what Clang could not. They could hear the songbird's heartbeat racing fast. Too fast. Scared fast. Over the next few days, Clang stayed at the sanctuary, and Sprocket watched with growing worry. When Clang helped wind up the mechanical rabbit, they twisted the spring too tight, and the rabbit could barely hop. When Clang organized the shelves, they moved creatures from their safe spots to new places, and the real birds outside flew away, confused. When Clang tried to demonstrate understanding animal speech by shouting at a real sparrow, "Hey, hey, little bird," the sparrow flew so high it nearly disappeared. The memory bells on the wall rang less and less, and Sprocket's metal heart, the one that beat steady and true, began to ache. One morning, Sprocket found Clang reaching for the wind-up tortoise, the oldest creature in the sanctuary. This tortoise had been hurt badly once before coming to live in the workshop. It had taken Sprocket 3 full seasons of patient work to help the tortoise believe the world was safe again. "I will make this one faster," Clang announced. "It moves too slowly. How boring." "No," Sprocket said, and their voice, though still soft, was firm as copper. Clang turned, surprised. "What did you say?" "I said no." Sprocket moved between Clang and the tortoise, their gears clicking with quiet determination. "You cannot stay here. Not like this. Not if you cannot listen." "But I am here to help." "Helping means listening first," Sprocket said. "Listening means hearing what creatures need, not what you think they should have. The tortoise does not want to be faster. It wants to be safe. The songbird does not want to be improved. It wants to be understood." Clang's wide smile faded. For a moment, something like sadness flickered across their face, but then they turned away. "Fine. I will go elsewhere." And with that, Clang stomped toward the door. As the door swung shut behind them, a single small feather drifted down again, the same one from before, somehow. It spun slowly through the air, floating past Sprocket's shoulder, and landed softly on the tortoise's shell like a gentle promise. Sprocket picked up the feather and tucked it carefully into a pocket close to their heart. The workshop seemed to exhale. One by one, the memory bells began to ring again. Ting, dong, ting dong, soft and sweet and steady. The songbird sang, the rabbit hopped in happy circles, the butterfly fluttered with joy. The tortoise took its slow, patient steps, and Sprocket could hear its contentment like honey dripping slowly into a jar. "Thank you for being brave," Sprocket whispered to the tortoise, and the creature blinked its ancient eyes with trust. That afternoon, Sprocket sat in the garden among the flowers, listening to the real birds sing their afternoon songs. The feather rested on Sprocket's copper palm, white and soft and somehow full of meaning. Being strong did not mean being the loudest. Being helpful did not mean moving the fastest. Being a friend meant listening. It meant patience. It meant remembering that the smallest creatures had the biggest feelings, and that kindness was stronger than any machine ever made. Sprocket's gears turned steady and true, and the workshop behind them rang with the sound of safety, ding dong, like a heartbeat that would never break. And in that gentle, rhythmic song, Sprocket Heartwise was exactly where they belonged.
Thanks for listening to our story today. We hope that you enjoyed it. Our story was created with the Fables Adventures app for iPhone and iPad. If you enjoyed listening and want to create your own stories, if you want to participate in the Fables Adventures community of creators, and if you want to get the opportunity to have one of your stories featured right here on our YouTube channel or Spotify podcast, download the app on the Apple App Store. The link is available in the description. Drop us a like, subscribe, and follow us for more from Fables Adventures. And thank you for joining us here.